Okay, so now you've got the files downloaded. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the spreadsheets section of this exam paper. Okay, so let's have a look. When you open up the file, this is what you're going to see. Obviously, there are some formatting issues, some sizes, but we're going to look at that later. So we first go to our questions here. Frederick has set up a spreadsheet to record the payments. It's very important that when you look at a spreadsheet, you understand what the spreadsheet is showing. It makes everything a lot easier when you understand why the spreadsheet is being created and what information we need to take from that spreadsheet. Okay, so we have the first thing, we're going to open up the trip, like so. To enter task SS1, your name and candidate number in the footer of the worksheet. Okay, for this, we're just going to enter the task and your name. So for the footer, we need to go down here to the page layout, and we can see we have our footers. So we can type in there task SS1 and then your name, like so. Okay. Once you've done that, it's better to come out of the preview. It's a lot easier to edit the spreadsheet in this view. Okay, next. Haley Annandale has signed up for the trip. She is 28 years old. She has made these payments. Enter these details on the spreadsheet. It's going to add a new name down here. Haley Annandale. She is 28. She has made these payments. March, April, and May. 150 for each month. Next, we're going to sort the spreadsheet into ascending order of last name within a secondary sort of first name in ascending order. Now, first, let's tidy this up a bit. Let's make sure we can see all the names. There's two ways. You can highlight like so, or if you double click, it will snap it to the closest fit. Okay, next we're going to highlight all the information. We're going to go to data and sort. Now, if we have a look, it says in ascending order of last name with a secondary sort of first name. So we're going to sort by last name, but first we need to say my data has headers. As you can see, we've got the labels here. So last name, add level, first name. Ascending, A to Z, both ascending. If it was descending, you'd change it obviously to Z to A. Okay, click OK. Now it's sorted. You can see we have the last names here, and it is also sorted within the last names. Format the spreadsheet so that the currency values show the currency symbol with no decimal places. Okay, so let's go to currencies. For that, we go to our home tab, change the currencies, and the decimal places, we have the button up here. We can reduce or increase. Okay, so they want it to no decimal places. Make sure all the data is visible. Again, this with the names, we're going to make sure everything that we can see, nothing's been cut off. Okay, save the spreadsheet as task SS1. File, save as, save in the current folder, task SS1. Don't worry about printing at this time because I'll be taking all the soft copies. Next, we're going to move on to the second part of the question. Frederick wants to know the total amount paid by each person. Enter a formula into I6 to calculate the total paid by the first member of staff. Now, if we go to I6, enter a formula. So we're going to go to equals, sum will be the formula we're using, and we put in the first cell reference, which is D6, followed by a colon, and then we're going to go to H6, like so. Okay, hit enter. That's the formula that the total has been paid by the first member of staff. The charge to staff for the trip is stored in cell B3. There's B3. Enter a formula in J6 to calculate the balance left to pay by the first member of staff. So the first member of staff has paid £550. Now the balance, if the trip costs 600, then we need to minus the 600 from the 550 to see how much that they still owe. Now what happens is we go to B3 minus I6. This is what a lot of people would do, but it won't actually work. I'll show you why. When we try and auto fill down, it gives us the wrong information. Okay, we need to use something called an absolute cell reference. If we have a look at the formulas and show formulas and have a look, if you see that the B3 and I6. B3 is over here, which is where the 600 is. Let's shrink these down so we can see it. Okay, let's bring these down. Okay, so B3 is here. Now, the first one is correct. B3 minus I6, which is the total. Next, if we click on the next one, it then moves down to B4, B5, B6. Can you see how it's moving on the side? Now, what we need to do is to freeze that cell, B3, and lock it in place so it doesn't move. So what we do is we use what's called as an absolute cell reference. So we go back. Let me just stretch this out first. Okay, so again, let's try that again. We're going to go to equals B3 minus I6, but this time we're going to put a dollar sign before the B, a dollar sign before the 3, just to lock that cell in place so it doesn't move. Now, if we copy this down, you can see it's working. And if we again have a look at the show formulas, you can see that B3 doesn't move as we copy it down. It stays there. Okay, excellent. So we've got this one. Replicate the formula. Enter appropriate headings for I and J. So again, I was to calculate the total paid. So we're going to have in here total. And the next one is calculate the balance left. So we're going to go for balance as the labels. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't really fit. So we need to increase it out like so. Edit the footer to show this is task SS2. So we go into the footer again. SS2. Come out. Save the spreadsheet as task SS2. Okay, don't worry about printing. Frederick wants to send a reminder to members of staff who still have to pay £100 or more for the balance. So this is the balance here. Enter a formula in column K to display the text reminder or not needed for each member of staff. Now this is where we need to use the if formula. I'm just going to reduce these so you can see everything on screen. Okay, so what we're going to say is for all members of staff who have to pay 100 or more, we want it to say reminder or not needed. So we start off our formula always with an equal sign, equals if the balance is greater than or equal to 100. This is our logical test. Then we follow it from a comma and you can see value if true. So if J6 is greater than or equal to 100, we want it to show reminder because we want to remind them. So we put in there reminder. Oh, okay, and then when we put a comma, you'll see the value of false lights up. So if it is not greater than or equal to 100, then we can just put not needed. Okay, and then close that. Now, if we copy this down again, you'll see all the people with 100 or more will have reminder. Okay, resave the task SS2, file, save, print, don't worry about printing. Make sure IJ and K are wide enough to show the complete formula. I'm just going to show you something. When you do go to show formulas, the layout does change. So I'm going to show you as if you were supposed to print. So let's go to show formulas. Now what we need to do is to bring these all in like so and make sure we can see the formulas. And this is what we're looking for printing. Otherwise, when you print out, the text will be too small and will not be able to be read. Okay, task SS2 done. Let's have a look at the next task. Task SS3. Let's open this up first. Okay, Frederick wants to encourage young members of staff to make the trip. His next report to the management team will include a chart displaying the balance for each member of staff who is less than 30 years old. The chart must identify members of staff by their first name, be fit for purpose, and have a suitable title and axis labels. Create the chart as a separate worksheet. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to find all the people who are less than 30 years old. For this, we add a filter. So we highlight everything in the table, data, filter, and then we're gonna use the filter. You can just take the tick boxes out for everyone. Oh, they want less than 30 years old, so everyone that's over 30. Or what you can do is go to number filter, go to less than 30. And you can see all the people that are showing are all less than 30 years old. Okay, now we need to show members of staff by their first name. So we're going to take the first name and we need to show the balance for each of them. So we hold down the control button on the bottom left of the keyboard, highlight the balance, and then we're going to insert a bar chart for this, like so. Now it says the chart needs to be a separate worksheet, so we right click on the chart like so, and we go to move chart to a new sheet. And you'll see it at the bottom here, you can switch between the charts like so. Okay, next we need to put a suitable title. And the title will always need to give enough information. So this is the balance for each member of staff who is less than 30 years old. Okay, and we need to make sure it's more of a title than a sentence. So obviously capital B. Okay, like so. Okay, next with charts, you always have to have the title and axis labels. So to add the axis labels, we click on the chart like so. We click on the plus, the chart elements, and we put a tick box in the axis titles, and you'll see them appear on the side. And we need to just double click on the left side, and here is the balance. So we can type in there balance. Oh, and down here, first name. Once that's done, you can see it's done. It's on a separate worksheet, the chart. Enter task SS3 your name in the footer of the chart. Save the spreadsheet as task SS3 and don't worry about printing. So we're just going to File, Save, Task SS3. Okay, excellent. Once that is done, what you're going to do is you're going to send me the task SS1, SS2, and SS3. You're going to send me these three files through Google Classroom. Thank you.